we better look back at 2021 because I think there's a lot of things that people will be gobsmacked to remember what actually happened in the chaotic year that was 2021.
Strap myself in for this. Yes, it's going to be a rough ride.
I'm here live. I'm not a cat.
I'm here live. I'm not a cat. And then we went into April. So speaking of, I don't know if I could say this.
Probably not. We're going to go on a. Mike can cut it later.
Speaking of racist, Prince Philip died aged 99.
Probably can't say that. Hi, I'm Baby's Food.
And I'm Just Gudgeon.
And welcome back to the Breaking Bread podcast, where each episode we have a good old-fashioned... I don't know why I did the stretch in the middle of the intro. We have a good old-fashioned chinwag about some interesting topics, as well as occasionally being joined by a special guest. There's no guest today, but that means we're going to have an interesting discussion nonetheless between the two of us. How have you been over Christmas, Josh?
Mate, I'm all good. It's New Year. Happy New Year.
No, thanks. I appreciate that.
Nice of you to take a bit of time off. Everybody's waiting for videos and you're like, fuck it, I'll have a couple of weeks off, shall I?
I had 1 week off. It was a very enjoyable week off, actually, I'll have you know.
Nice jumper. Did Santa bring you that from fucking Elmo's crib? What are you dressed as today?
This is, I think it's from, I don't even know where it's from, somewhere cheap, but there's never, we don't earn any money from this, right? So the heating is still not on. So I like to come, in nice fluffy sweaters and stuff.
But you enjoyed your Christmas then? You enjoyed your time off?
Very much, yeah.
What did you buy Lindsay? Because it seems to be like on top of everybody's minds is after seeing the absolute terrible shit old dog thing that you bought her last year, that seems to be a good clip on the old clips channel.
That ended, I know, it done like 100,000 views now. So I didn't want anyone to see that. But I bought her, I gave her some money because it's just a safe bet. No dog bags, right? And if she wants to buy a dog bag, she can buy as many dog bags as she wants with the money. And I got some perfume. She told me
exactly what to buy. She ordered it for you, yeah.
And just a couple of shit things. I can't remember top of my head. I'm terrible at buying gifts, but she wasn't. I mean, I didn't get anything good this year. I got a bean bag, which was probably the best one. You know, like you sit on, and
as opposed to what?
Well, I don't know. You get those little bean bags you throw at people, right? The little miniature ones.
If you say so.
Not one of those. The big kind you sit on. And she got me some Bob Ross memorabilia. I'm really big into Bob Ross.
Did you get your a trumpet? Not a trumpet. Trombone.
I wanted a saxophone.
Saxophone. That was it.
I thought maybe she'd leave it to last right and surprise me. No, I just got a bunch of shit stuff. But I mean, I don't really ask for stuff at Christmas. So.
How was the chicken wing song received from your audience?
By and large, really well, which is good. That's the goal, right? Christmas, just to make people laugh, and it seemed to do that. I got a lot of video messages and stuff. The nicest ones are like kids dance along to it and stuff, and I got a lot of those, and families at Christmas enjoying themselves. But predictably, there were quite a few people that reacted negatively to it, which that's almost as entertaining to me. You know, you see people trying to criticize something like which is already evidently shit. You don't need to say it's shit. But yeah, it was good. I think I know. I don't know how much it's raised yet. I only find out that I think in February.
Fair dues. Well, we'll have to obviously wait and see when that big number comes in. I think at this point it's probably better you just donate yourself for the amount of time and effort that goes into it.
Probably.
But it's entertaining, so nonetheless it's all right.
Yeah.
Exciting episode today, mate. Oh, I forgot to mention Spotify.
You forgot to do the... It's like the boy who cried wolf though now, because like you mentioned it so much that the day that you tell me, we've got a Spotify deal, I'll be like, nah.
I'm going to keep doing this even if we've got it. You'll see me with a Lamborghini pop out front. Like, it's like, I was like, yeah, we had a good year, at the business. And really, the podcast is making...
You're taking on Spotify, Dash.
Yeah, we ain't got Spotify. Not yet.
Never mind. We still got the video podcast though.
Video podcast on Spotify. And also, like, if you are watching this now on Spotify or whatever, if you want to... I know there'll be some people that can't listen to a full episode at a time. We have got a clips channel that's doing really well. So if you want just shorter segments of us guys talking absolute rubbish and the guests, just look for Breaking Bread clips.
I don't even subscribe to the real channel, just the clips channel. It's more condensed, less waffle.
That's it. This episode though, we are going to look back. We figured if we're going to get into the new year, the spirit of 2022, we better look back at 2021 because I think there's a lot of things that people will be gobsmacked to remember what actually happened in the chaotic year that was 2021.
Strap myself in for this. It's going to be a rough ride.
When I was like doing the research for this and I was putting it in, I was like, as if that was only last year. And obviously, we've after 2020, we probably thought it couldn't get any worse, could it?
Yeah, I mean, that was a given, wasn't it? But it did get worse.
So to start with, to look back, we're only a couple of days past the year anniversary. So January comes in, we're still in lockdown. We're still in lockdown. Boris has left us there. 2 or 3 days into the new year, the USA, one of the powerhouse country of the world almost loses its democracy by the Capitol riots. Do you remember that?
I do remember it, yeah. I remember thinking it was like being in a simulation, you know, where you think you're going to pinch yourself and wake up, or it's like there's been a glitch in the Matrix or something. But yeah, no, it's just people incited, no less. We don't like to talk about politics on this podcast, much less do I. But yeah, incited by none other than the President of the United States, an office which used to hold such esteem. He's like, yeah, just run down to Capitol Hill and just smash some shit up.
Yeah, because he was the one that allegedly incited the riots by claiming voter fraud in America. Is that right? Is that how it all sort of kicked off?
Yeah, that was my favorite part though, how like he was ahead. At some point he said, stop the count, it's over. It's like, no, that's not how it works.
Stop the count. Stop the count.
Imagine you're in like a 100-meter sprint with Usain Bolt, you get like 2 yards off the line, you're like, stop, I'm slightly ahead. I win.
A bit like when they were counting up like how many people have got COVID and they were like, just stop testing. And you're like, I don't think that's how it works. Yeah. If you don't test people, they can't test positive. And I'm like, I see where we're going with this.
The thinking man, yeah.
What about the Viking rioter? So like the guy that took the heat for the riot. Remember the dude? He had the Viking helmet on.
Vaguely. I vaguely recall.
Face painted. He were running around with a spear. Do you remember that dude?
Vaguely, yeah.
So he was the guy, like, apparently it's called Jacob Chansey, or AKA it was called Q1 Shaman. He had a Viking helmet, bare-chested, with a spear. And after all that, so people literally, like, you know, beat up, killed, like, it was absolutely damage to public property, all that thing. He was one of the guys that got sentenced, 41 months in prison. You'd think there'd be more than that, wouldn't you? Yeah,
but I mean, like, I'm not privy to the machinations of the judicial system. I had my thesaurus out this morning. So yeah, it doesn't surprise me, you know, you get that sentences in general seems to be quite lenient these days for anything, you know.
Yeah, but I thought like at something of such global scale, 3 days into a new year, you'd think that as extreme as that, somebody might get a bit longer than 41 months in prison. I mean, we'll still
41 months seems like a weird length of time. I feel like I would just round it down to 40 or up to 45. Maybe that's just me. I don't. 41 seems weird.
We could have said 3.5 years rather than in a month.
When you put it like that, it sounds like longer. So maybe if you say months makes it sound like a short sentence, but 40 months is actually quite a lot of time.
Yeah, that was absolute chaos, but nonetheless, Joe Biden got brought into power, and yeah, there was also the meme in January. Do you remember Sleepy Joe? Oh, no, it wasn't called Sleepy Joe. Sleepy, the dude sat on the chair. It was one of the other guys that was running. It were Joe Biden.
Oh, Bernie Sanders.
Bernie Sanders.
Yeah, I did a little tweet with him in it. I think it was like for some reason because everyone was photoshopping him into stuff.
Yeah,
right?
That's right. Yeah.
Sat in the chair.
Oh, I remember you did this. Yeah,
and it was like I did the looking out stage at Nathan's hot dog contest, right? And I put him in put him on top of the ESPN stand next to all the cameras, and like only a few people noticed it, which is I should have like done a competition. Said if you tell me like where's Wally or something, where's Bernie? If you could pick out where he is, I'll send you a t-shirt. But I didn't do that.
Maybe this year. There'll be plenty more memes popping up soon.
I'm sure.
So January ended. We went into February. I don't know if you remember this, but it seemed to be the time of Zoom nightmares in February. So do you remember the viral Parish...
I know what you can see the Jackie Weaver thing.
Yeah. You have no authority here, Jackie Weaver. We'll play the clip. I think we'll be allowed to play the clip, so we'll play the clip.
You have no authority here, Jackie Weaver. No authority at all.
Don't. She's kicked him out. Don't.
They now elect a chairman.
No, they can't because the vice chair's here. I take charge. Read the standing orders. Read them and understand them.
Yeah, it was the guy's voice as well. It was like a really mousy. You have no authority here, Jackie Weaver.
And then she booted him out of the meeting, and then the other dude was like, "I am the vice president. I'm in charge." Absolute chaos. What hilarious! That's Britain in a nutshell.
I almost think that was probably the best thing to happen in 2021. That one single Zoom debacle.
I would agree with you. However, did you see the second Zoom debacle, which was the American lawyer who logged in for like an actual sort of, what would you call it?
Trial?
Court case. So yeah, if that was it, a lawyer appeared in front of a judge for a virtual court case as a cartoon cat. Do you remember that?
No.
Right, I'll play that for you.
Oh, do you have a filter on?
You had a filter.
I thought you meant like he'd actually put some kind of costume on.
No, let me play this for you. This is the best thing to happen out of 2021.
Mr. Ponton, I believe you have a filter turned on in the video settings. You might want to Take a look.
Can you hear me, Judge?
I can hear you. I think it's a filter.
It is, and I don't know how to remove it. I've got my assistant here. She's trying to, but I'm prepared to go forward with it. I'm here live. I'm not a cat.
I'm here live. I'm not a cat. So I counter Jackie Weaver with that. That is the best thing to happen in 2021.
Yeah, that's elite. I don't know how have I not seen that. Maybe I was just off social media at that point. I don't know, but that is funny.
Mike, what were your take on that? Do you think that were a good one?
That was. I personally still think the Jackie Weaver debacle sort of takes it.
I can't believe he, like a lawyer in front of a judge, had to like verify. I'm not a cat. It's like, but no shit, you're not a cat.
I can't believe the judge didn't say that back. Like, yeah, I didn't think you perfected like human genome splicing with felines. I didn't think you were a cat.
Oh dear. Yeah, that's definitely the best thing that happened in 2021, in my opinion. But yeah, obviously that was like pretty much February in a nutshell. Then we went into March. A couple of things happened in March. Number one, so we've come out of 2020. The NHS, all of the nurses. I've got a lot of nurses in my family. Both my sisters are nurses. They got a massive 1% pay rise.
Criminal,
what an absolute...
Don't get me started on that. We are going to get political if we start talking about stuff like that. But yeah, that was a travesty, man.
Given the state of the economy today, 5% inflation, cost of living's going up, energy prices are going up, 1% after coming off the back of...
It's all right, though, because I know a lot of people that work for the NHS as well. They got a badge. It wasn't even a metal badge. It was like a plastic, like not even a Blue Peter style badge. It was like a really shit badge. And almost everyone I know symbolically like destroyed it. You know, like they just threw it down in fits of rage. But
yeah, so that's an absolute nightmare on the for Britain. I think that was just a dire situation. After that, do you remember the container ship that got stuck in the Suez Canal?
Yeah, I do remember that one. Yeah.
So they're talking about the economy and costs of various goods or whatever. That is probably as bad as it gets, right? So this container ship got stuck, caused absolute chaos. Apparently, it cost $400 million an hour. For basically the cost of the global trade, $400 million an hour, and it was stuck for 6 days. So do the maths on that.
I can't. I'm terrible at maths, but that doesn't make sense to me. How did it even get stuck?
Right, so I've been through the Suez Canal. I think I've been through it twice, passed it both ways.
Oh, he's going into Navy mode, Mike. You can't stop him now.
I also don't know how they've done it, right? Because when you go through in convoy, so you obviously go through Mediterranean and you sit at the top, and like the Egyptian sort of authorities are the ones that sort of take you through. But you get like a pilot. So there's pilots that'll go on each ship, and they will direct you to get down. It's narrow, like, and especially if you're on a big ship, like there's not much room on either side. So I can see how it would get stuck. But the fact that you've got a pilot on that's supposed to keep you going, I don't know what they might have had a breakdown or whatever, but it's about as bad as it gets getting stuck there, because basically you pass through in convoy, so there might be like 15 ships in convoy going down, and then once they're through, the ones will come up. So you can see how much it cost the economy. When we went through on the Suez Canal, I'll try find the pictures. We were on ship, you can't stop. So like the ships are moving, there's no stopping, there's no like, if all happens, we've just got to keep going. We went through and one of the Egyptian patrol boats was sinking. So we looked off like the starboard side, and there's a ship just on its, like a little boat, a patrol boat on its side with a hole in it. And there's like Egyptians just shouting and screaming and just trying to put out fires and stop the floods. And we had to just like watch and be like, good luck. If I've got some pictures, I'll put them on.
Was everyone all right though? I don't want to laugh if they weren't. You don't know?
Nah, they'd be all right. I mean, like, yeah, you could swim to this, like, that's how narrow it is. Like, you can see the desert on either side.
Okay.
So yeah, chaos for the economy there. After that, Harry and Meghan did the Oprah interview, which basically said that the monarchy is like being in prison and they're all racists. Do you remember watching that? Did you watch it?
No, absolutely not. I've got about as much interest in the monarchy as I have in, I don't know, the worms in my garden. What they get, it doesn't matter to me. So I don't know anything about that, really. Other than that, it was a big deal and they made some allegations. I don't know what, but like...
I think it's a weird time for like the monarchy, or for like, if you're, what do you call it, a royalist, like the monarchy's stood for so long now, but it's a very weird time. I think social media is kind of not destroying it, but it's bringing to light what it actually entails to be a royal. And obviously some of the stuff that's gone on in the past.
But it's cool being like a really shit, like 17th in line to the throne royal, because then you get like all the perks and you don't really have to do much and you're not really in the public, like Eugenie and all that shit.
Yeah.
That's probably, I bet they're like wreckheads, they love going out on the sesh at the weekend and stuff.
Like, I think outside looking in, you go, it must be pretty cool being a prince. You get like a bunch of money and you live in a palace. But what she basically, that Meghan and Harry basically said that it's very shit and it's sort of almost like it's like a gangster, like gangsters out there. It's like a mob, which I think she referred to them as a mob. The Firm. She called them the Firm.
The Firm.
Yeah, that was it.
Like that terrible football hooligan movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have anything. I don't want to get into any hot water with any royalist subscribers that might be out there. So
I'm not trying to throw anyone under the bus, but that was what happened. It made global headline news for Harry and Meghan to do their Oprah interview, and obviously at the end of it, it sort of came to light that she accused everyone of being racist, of which Prince William said, "We are not a racist family." And then we went into April. So speaking of, I don't know if I could say this.
Probably not. We're going to go on. Mike can cut it later.
Speaking of racists, Prince Philip died aged 99.
You probably can't say that.
That's a bit harsh, that.
I don't know. I think he's been on record as saying some dodgy stuff.
No, it's literally I think, he's definitely been on record to have said some very racial slurs.
I mean, he had a good innings though. What was he
99. I think he's.
I'd be a bit pissed that I didn't get to 100 though. That would wind me up a bit. I mean, he wouldn't even get the telegram though, would he? She'd probably just hand him the telegram saying congratulations.
She's sick of him at that point. It's a bit like Mrs. Beard's view. She's just sick of you at that point.
Yeah, and that definitely didn't take 99 years, I tell you. But yeah, that's a solid innings. I don't think, I don't want to get to 99, God forbid. But like if I did, I'd be like,
Did you, obviously I'm assuming you didn't see any of the funeral. Did you see his custom Land Rover that he got that sort of took him to the church thing for his funeral now?
I didn't. What was it? Was it stylish?
Yeah, pretty cool, to be fair. He had like a custom Land Rover made for the coffin to go on the back of. And
why did it have to be custom?
Because Land Rovers don't carry coffins.
Oh, right. Was it like the like some product placement thing? Like, why did it have to be Land Rover?
Well, I think just because of his his
love of Land Rovers.
Yeah, love of Land Rovers and just his military sort of heritage.
Okay.
They use them in the I think that was the deal.
All right.
Maybe brand placement. Look at you.
That's what I was thinking.
And this funeral is brought to you by Jaguar Land Rover.
Do you know why I was thinking that? I watched the new Bond movie last night, and there's a part in it where I was just thinking, there's a scene where it looks at the back of his mobile phone and it's a Nokia, and I'm like, shit, do people still use Nokias? But it's like a linger. The shot lingers for so long that I'm like, product placement there.
Amiga do the same though, don't they? He wears an Amiga watch.
Oh, I don't know much about.
Watch. So he wears like an Amiga Seamaster or like a version of it.
And they do like,
and it's like really long, like he might be getting his gun out, or it's like super slow. And it's like
good film though. I enjoyed it. I'm not a massive Bond fan. I don't hate Bond or anything. I'm just kind of in the middle, but I really enjoyed it.
Well, that was the first one to come back after COVID. When they delayed it for so long. I'm yet to see it, but apparently it's got the most expensive sort of explosion scene ever in history. Like, is there a certain scene where there's a massive explosion?
There is, but it wouldn't have been that expensive if it was CGI. But
they really did it.
I can get why it was expensive. Yeah, but the movie is so. We're not going to get into like a deep dive on filmmaking, but it's shot so nice. Like to watch that as something. Not that I'm a filmmaker, but something that is dabbled in it. Right, it is amazing to watch.
Where do you watch it? It's on Netflix or something now.
No, Sky Store, $4.39, I think.
Oh, right, okay.
To rent.
Have you seen this film?
To talk too much about the explosion scene is sort of like, if you haven't seen it, you don't really want to.
You don't go into too much.
Fuck it. Well, how many months were removed?
It's like
no
the
spoilers.
biggest spoiler going. No.
Oh,
yeah. So don't get into it. I was a bit like.
I think we've already committed to it now. I think.
Have you seen the film?
No. I know there's an explosion scene.
We can't.
Let's go with what Mike says and get past that point.
All right, roger that. Moving on to May. A lot's going on, and we're only at May. We're at month 5 here, but it's quite a nice one in May. Are you a fan of the TV program Friends?
I'm eating my beard. No,
you'll be used to eating your own beard, won't you?
I know, but like usually when it's accompanied by food, it's
right.
like an accoutrement.
Feels like you've got a pube in your mouth.
Today I'm just eating, no, not particularly. I'm not a fan, but I would never call myself a Friends fan.
Right. Well, I think it's quite timeless. Like it's one of the things you still stick it on now, 20 years removed.
Well, they do, don't they? For me, it's like on repeat on some channel.
Yeah, always.
Forever.
Yeah. Well, they did the Friends reunion, which was quite a nice sort of heartfelt nostalgia for people. But if you haven't watched it, job's fucked really, isn't it, with this conversation?
Yeah, sorry, bud. I watched neither that nor the recent Harry Potter reunion. Didn't watch that either. They did one of those because that's 20 years old now.
Is it?
Yeah.
Whoa.
I didn't watch it. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I've not watched the Harry Potter one, but the Friends one was really good. I enjoyed it. Obviously, all the female actors kind of look exactly the same. So
yeah,
I dare say Jennifer Aniston might have had Botox because there's not a line on that lady's forehead.
I've got to say though, I can't like Mrs. Beard is a weirdly dedicated fan of Jennifer Aniston, so I don't want to say anything negative about her whatsoever. In fact, I'm not going to agree nor disagree with you.
Can you text her? Text Mrs. Beard and be like, do you reckon Josh wants to know has Jennifer Aniston had Botox?
You'll be on a death list. If you want me to do it, I'll do it.
Just do it, man. Let's just
see if she replies by the end of the...
Before the end of the podcast, let's see if we can get some confirmation. If Mrs. Beard is so in the pocket of Jennifer Aniston, we'll find out. But yeah, it seemed to be led quite a lot, did the reunion, by David Schwimmer, who played Ross, who I think is like... The purpose to make him like the most...
He's the fall guy for the jokes, isn't he?
Yeah, he's like the most unlikable character, but he was like the most sort of vocal out of the lot.
I think I would say Ross was... If I had to pick a favourite character, you might think I'd go to Joey because he's always eating, right? But I think Ross was the guy that... He played the straight man, not in the sexuality sense. Yeah. I mean, in the sense that he was often the butt of the jokes, right?
Absolutely.
Chandler tried too hard to be funny. Joey was like kind of obviously funny, but I thought, David Schwimmer had like a certain...
I think you had to be clever to play that part. I think so. What we're going to say is, so he sort of like led a lot of the dialogue. The dude that played Chandler, Matthew Perry, didn't look good. Like he looked in a bad way. I don't know what's going on with him, but they seem to have all aged in various ways. But not David Schwimmer, Matthew Perry didn't look too cracking. I don't know what's going on there.
Was he older than the rest of them at start date? Maybe he was just one of the older ones. I don't know.
It was quite sad to see, though. It was quite sad to see him on there because everyone else seemed like pretty sort of with it, but he didn't seem as with it. So I don't know if he's had problems in the past, but
maybe
that was a bit of a downer. And obviously Joey, we've seen Joey since he finished Friends. He just did British Top Gear, didn't he? So
he's in everything. He was in that. He was in that thing with Stephen Mangan as well. I forget the name of it now, but it was like a sitcom. But it was kind of like not many people really loved it. I think it was short running, but I think it was good. I forget the name of it now.
This is the worst podcast.
But yeah, he's done some stuff, hasn't he? But like some of them haven't really gone on to do.
Did you ever watch him on Top Gear? Did you rate him?
I hate Top Gear. I've never fully watched an episode of Top Gear.
What, even Jeremy Clarkson?
Every kind of Top Gear is meaningless to me. I'm not into cars.
What about? Do you like Jeremy Clarkson?
No.
Have you watched the Jeremy Clarkson's Farm?
No.
Oh, what?
I don't like. I think I don't want to make any secret of the fact that I don't particularly. I mean, I don't know the bloke. Could be a nice guy, but like the things that are reported on Jeremy Clarkson are not particularly pleasant oftentimes.
Okay.
Like him punching people, for example, on set.
Is that why he got fired from Top Gear?
I think so, yeah. But like I don't want to make out that
You threaten to punch me all the time. I'm like, bring it on, let's go.
I said I was going to fucking suplex you through this table this year at some point. But yeah, but I don't know. No, I'm not in the Top Gear. I don't really get the sense of humor. To me is not that clever, I think
it used to be. I think it was quite shocking in the past, whereas like now it's been done like on the Grand Tour. It's kind of been done. Every joke's been done to death, in my opinion. But yeah, we're in June, July now, aren't we? We're talking about that. The Euros finally kicked off a year late. You're a football guy, so you must have been well up for that.
Now we're in my I loved it. I used a little bit of blue badge power to get on Instagram to get a seat. Not at actually one of the games. It was really hard to get to watch it anywhere in Leeds in any significant number. But I got in. They had this thing at the top of the Merrion Centre car park.
Oh yeah,
I forget what it's called. I would plug you, but I've forgotten your name. I couldn't get in anywhere. I was like, oh look, can I book a table? I'll pay you anything. I'll pay you like a couple £100 to get there because I wanted to. You know when you're not seeing your mates for a while and like. For most people that like football, that's the Euros of that time when everyone gets together, forget the kids, forget the dog and everything, And I managed to get a seat for the final, which we inevitably lost. But it was cool. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, speaking of the final, so we obviously hosted the final. We were still technically in some sort of like restricted movements at the time. Do you remember? I'm sure there was some sort of controversy around.
I think they still had the traffic light system there for international travel, but I think there wasn't really anything in terms of...
Apart from everybody gets to come over, like exemptions for that, weren't there? Like anybody could come to watch the finals at Wembley, yeah.
I lose track of them all.
But yeah, we lost on pens. Not ideal, is it?
Yeah, no, it was a shame. But
football was coming home.
I'd rather win the World Cup than the Euros. So.
When's the World Cup?
This year.
Is it this year?
Oddly, yeah, because it's the first one that's going to be held in winter, right? 'Cause it's in Qatar.
Yeah,
Genius moves to play it in 40-degree heat.
End of the year, not a summer World Cup this year. But
It's going to be, it starts second week in November, I think, which would be weird because it'd be kind of like the lead up to Christmas, you know, and you're watching international football. But I think that'd be kind of cool in a way for it to be.
I suppose so, yeah.
It'd be weird, but they're having the break in the middle of the season, right?
Yeah, because you kind of want to see it in, like, as Brits, I guess you'd want to see it in summer, wouldn't you? Beer garden, tops off, throwing pints up in air.
Yeah.
That's what you did, right? I saw you on Instagram doing that.
I hate throwing pints in there. That cold culture is annoying to me, you know. But I think I'm scarred by that. I've going to festivals when I was a kid, and you get like a cup of something on you, and you'd hope it was beer, but it's inevitably it would usually be piss. But yeah, no, I don't throw my beer. Beer's precious, man.
It is. I saw you sinking on our Christmas do. You were sinking away some mulled wines as well, weren't you?
Yeah,
you can dabble in that, can't you?
Yeah, I love a little bit of mulled wine. Yeah,
we went to a place at Christmas. We went for teppanyaki, and we went to what was the first place that we drank? Downstairs in that little like.
Assembly Underground, which used to be one of my favourite haunts as a kid, or when I was in my early 20s. It used to be called Carpe Diem.
Right, yeah.
It's now called Assembly Underground.
That's what tattoo you've got on your back, isn't it? Carpe Diem.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
It's on your lower back, like a tramp stamp.
You know, it was weird though that night, right? Because the entire town centre was dead. There was nobody there.
With a week before Christmas, it was like the day before Mad Friday, so 16th of December, I think it was. Normally, like, it's rammed. It's always rammed at that time of year. And it was a ghost town in Leeds. But it didn't stop us from sinking some 10% sours, which you started to look a bit bog-eyed after about 5 minutes in there. We had to turn it off a bit. We were like, better eat some food.
I make no secret of the fact that I'm a bit of a lightweight, especially at my age now. But it was a fun evening.
Oh, shout out to the two Joes as well that joined us. So the ones that helped us, they designed the logos for the podcast. They were absolutely...
That explains
wrecked.
The logo though. Like when I met them and I saw how drunk they got, I was like, oh, that explains the logo, yeah.
Mike, you missed it, man. Joe Murray, I know you've been watching and listening. He was paralytic drunk. You're talking like, falling off his seat, falling asleep at his pint. He was that pissed.
Oh yeah, he was.
Yeah, it's never good, is it? Never good on the Christmas night out, that.
No. He was in a bad way. Did he get home?
Yeah, I think he's all right. I've heard from him since. He survived that chaos. Anyway, so we're still in summer here. We're talking about winter. We're still in summer. One thing that did happen in June, July. So I don't want to get political.
I feel like you're approaching a sensitive topic. You've got that look in your eye.
It's going to be sensitive. But I think it was July, Matt Hancock unfortunately quit as health secretary after being caught necking his head. What an absolute fucking sleazeball. Like, I hated him on telly. Every time I had to see his face on telly, and then it comes out that he's actually gone against every fucking rule that he told us to do. I'm so like, he should have been fired, send him down the street, but no, he got to quit. So what an awful human being. But that happened in July.
Yeah.
Would you like to pass comment?
No, I did. I tweeted Matt Hancock not long ago to ask him if he wanted some help. He was talking about introducing a bunch of stupid legislation for in the fight against childhood obesity. I said, Matt, this is naff, mate. But if you want me to teach a free syllabus for you, I'll go around the country to schools. You know, I'm a personable bloke. I don't like kids that much, but I'll give. I'll put the effort in. He didn't reply, but I was willing to just do a bit of a roadshow,
Yeah.
But instead of that, he went with, I think they're going to ban junk food ads after like before 9 p.m. or something. I don't know what classifies as junk food. There's no such thing. But yeah, I can't think of anyone. There are very few people I can think of in the cabinet who look less healthy than Matt Hancock. So the fact that he was health secretary was a bit of an odd choice. But
Boris is number one. He looks the most unhealthy, doesn't he? Like, let's be honest.
I just want him to fucking comb his hair with anything but a balloon. Like, what the fuck is with that, man?
Balloon.
Like, combs aren't expensive.
That's funny.
Anyway, let's get off politics because people get sensitive.
I would absolutely love to see him with just like a really tight short back and sides and just like, a really tidy haircut.
Should we kidnap him? Let's kidnap him. I'll just I'll shave the sides, gel it up into a mohawk, put like I don't know, The Clash. No, that's not a very punk band. They are punk, but I was trying to think of like some really anti-establishment bands.
Would they do called like Johnny Rotten at some point?
We could put a Sex Pistols t-shirt on it.
Yeah. I think that'd work. Anyway, we won't talk anymore about Matt fucking Hancock, but it went to August, sort of September time. We had the Olympics.
Did we? The fuck when did that happen? That must have snuck under the rug. I don't really watch track and field shit anyway.
Skateboarding was in the Olympics, and we had the youngest ever. So Sky Brown was the youngest ever medalist for Great Britain at 13 years old. Did you see that?
What did they get? What medal did they get? Not the
bronze. She got a bronze medal.
13?
13 years old.
Well, maybe we get. I was going to say maybe we could get her on the podcast, but that might be a bit. We probably need parental consent. Right?
She's way above us, man. She wouldn't. No chance of getting.
Come on.
No, I don't think so.
Is skateboarding that popular? I mean, I know Tony Hawk made it popular, right? But I mean, no, if it's fair cop, I mean, that's really, at the age of 13, if you're competing at an elite level at whatever it is, I don't care if it's tiddlywinks, if you're winning bronze at that at the Olympics.
She seems super cool as well. I've seen her doing a few interviews since the Olympics, and she's like trying to spread the message about skateboarding and sports and sort of being an athlete and obviously being a young Olympian. So she's actually, oh, is this Mrs. Beard?
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know. She says she probably has, but don't go any further is basically the gist of her message. she loves Jennifer Aniston so much.
So we can confirm.
I don't want to. I mean, if she's had a bit of, Botox, like who cares?
It's Hollywood, man. She looks well.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're talking about
I interrupted you. About the Olympics.
Olympian.
This has been all over the fucking place. You can tell we've had a break. Jesus.
Yeah, we're talking about the 13-year-old skateboarding bronze medalist. She's been going around in a bunch of interviews, and she seems like really inspirational for young people. So I think it's pretty cool that we have such a young athlete. The
skateboarding is not a sport, though. Just to,
yeah, there's no chance you're coming on now, is there? I think we ended up like 4th in the medal table. So is that right? Can you confirm that, Mike? Can you just have a look?
We got 4th place.
Yes, but you obviously didn't watch it.
I'm very familiar with 4th place. I used to come at 4th place a lot in my eating contests. Just outside the real elite places.
So yeah, Olympics went, and on the back of the Euros, and we got to see all the wags, wives and girlfriends, anybody all fancied Jack Grealish. He went for the biggest transfer of £100 million player.
It's mad that, isn't it? Now he's sat on the bench every week for £100 million. Sound investment.
Mike, what you saying? You're a football guy. It's a bit over my head, is this?
It's just they paid $100 million for him, and he just sits on the bench, doesn't he? Most weeks. So
it didn't actually shock me.
Typical Man City, really.
But he did all right on there.
You tell Mike's a Liverpool fan. Yeah, he's a great player. I say what you like about Jack Grealish. Really good player. He's got fantastically defined, quite muscular calves as well. I don't know why I said that, but I just think maybe it was a bit of a weird signing for me. Purely because Man City teams are typically drilled as a team unit, and I think Jack Grealish is a bit more of an individualist player, but like I hark back to your Gascoignes and stuff like that. And you pay a premium for people who are young and could potentially get way better than they are. So it's a bit odd that he went there, but I mean, I'm sure he's not that bothered. He's out every night with Phil Foden, isn't he? Like getting drunk and shit. So
Josh, just to correct your, he was the most expensive bought by a Premier League club, but the most expensive transfer was Neymar to PSG.
For how much?
220 million euros.
I didn't know that. Is that what like
apparently add-ons? That's what it says on the internet. So
I remember there being like a weird thing about add-ons and stuff. So maybe he's
so it's like a phone contract.
No, but they aren't often like football contracts either. They're not often as simple as I will pay you X amount of money for this player. It's like based on like it could be previous clubs they've played for and performance when they're at the club and weird stuff like that.
Right. Okay.
But I didn't know it was 200 million. That's crazy.
That's some money. Some money in the game, isn't there?
200 million quid, yeah, to do a couple of rainbow flicks over someone's head.
Right, so not so good news. After that, we August time, that's when we started to withdraw from Afghanistan. So obviously a 20-year-long campaign. The reason I bring this up is we actually have a podcast coming up with a fellow YouTuber, Honor Kaglar, from Dies in Every Films Customs, where he's a veteran of Afghanistan, the Afghanistan war. He now creates like really cool content. But we do talk about his time as a soldier in Afghanistan, which I think will be a fascinating podcast for people when we do release it in this new year.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, harrowing but fascinating at the same time,
and terrifying.
Yeah.
Moving on, we then had the fuel crisis for us regular folk.
Oh, I was missing. I was out of the country, or otherwise I would have gloated quite.
I think you did. It went on for a while.
Yeah, people know I drive electric.
Can you just make the viewers and listeners familiar with what you said when you came in today?
Oh, I was complaining about. I was complaining about the new heads-up display on the Tesla. The latest Tesla software download, it's shit. So if Elon's watching or listening, which I'm certain he's not, can you just put it back to the old one, man? Like the old one was better.
That's some first world shit, is that? That is some first world problems, isn't it?
Yeah.
Does it automatically update for you, or do you have to say, yes, I'll have the update? Or can you say, nah, I'm all right, I'll stick with what I've got?
No, I think you have to. I mean, I'm not that au fait with it, but I think you have to at some point do it.
Fair cop. All right. Moving on to October then. So we're getting a little bit closer to current times.
I feel like I'm reliving it, man. Like I'm getting
I'm sure that we'll bring up a couple of these things, and people are like, "Oh my god, I can't actually." Like I almost forgot, or maybe they chose to forget. Half of this stuff happened.
I totally forgot the Olympics. How did that pass me by?
Tyson Fury went for the final shot at Deontay Wilder. Did you watch the fight?
I didn't watch. I watched the Anthony Joshua against Usyk one, but I didn't watch the Tyson Fury one because it was on. What was it, like 3 a.m.? I don't stay up for shit like that, man. Come on, I can't sleep.
You said you don't sleep.
Yeah, I don't. But I don't stay up for. I'll be actively trying to sleep. So if there's something on at like 3 a.m., I'm not going to be trying to sleep while watching two dudes knock the shit out of each other.
Well, that's what happened. I mean, all said and done, he beat him for the third time, and that's the job put to bed. And obviously, all of the fighting fans wanted to see him versus Joshua.
Yeah,
because that'd have been a good British heavyweight fight, but then he got beat up by that. What was the dude called?
Alexander Usyk, I believe is how you pronounce it. I'm certainly a boxing casual. I don't know much about it. I'm a lover, not a fighter, but
that's bollocks. You just said you were in a suplex. I think with threats like that, we're gonna have to just put it to the test one day. I'm gonna say that 9 times out of 10, I put you to sleep.
Yeah, you do Brazilian jiu-jitsu, man. So the only chance I'd have is maybe like an eye gouge or something, just something like really illegal. But yeah, what I was going to say is he was well and truly outboxed, wasn't he? And I felt, but I think I put up a tweet and a bunch of people got mad at me because I wanted the Usyk guy to win because you seemed like a really nice dude. You seemed really humble, and I was like, I can get behind that, And he absolutely battered Anthony Joshua, which I quite enjoyed.
Fair cop.
So AJ's not coming on now.
Yeah, he's out the picture. We've got no one left that's going to come on. We can't have the 13-year-old skateboarder because he said it wasn't the sport. Anthony Joshua's out of the picture. After that, billionaires decided to send themselves into space. Branson did it, and Jeff Bezos, and also the dude from Star Trek went with Jeff Bezos in his flying dildo to the outer atmosphere.
Yeah.
Do you follow any of that?
Not really. I mean, I don't watch news so much. So like anything that I hear about, I'll see stills on Twitter. But yeah, the cock rocket definitely did look like it.
William Shatner, 90 years old, going up there with him.
It's a good thing, I suppose, that there is. How do you say it sensitively? I don't want to say it's a good thing because in my opinion, there shouldn't be billionaires, but if the wealth they have can be channeled towards exploring other planets, and that helps the government's effort, NASA, etc., then it can't necessarily intrinsically be a bad thing, but probably don't be sending yourself up there just for the sake of tourism.
Yeah, I mean, I think if I had £1 billion or I was a multi-billionaire, I still wouldn't send myself to space. I wouldn't take my chances with some rocket that we've built.
Yeah, I feel like as well. Like
I don't like getting on a plane, like just a commercial airline. I'm not a fan of that. Like it's just not my bag.
I feel like I don't mind getting on. I mean, aside from the fucking bureaucracy of getting on planes, all the red tape and all that shit, and you have to sit near people. But apart from that, I don't mind getting on planes. I think that there's a far higher margin for error when you're literally going into the stratosphere, right? So yeah, I don't like the idea, especially for the sake that you're going to see. You'd be like, ooh, the Earth, great.
Yeah, I mean I don't suffer with anxiety at all, but the thought of trying to survive getting up to space, and then you'd think, oh, once you're there and you're floating about and you like chilling, you'd like throw a skittle and you catch it. Oh, fucking hell, that was class. You've then got to come back, which is just as terrifying.
That's harder, isn't it?
I would think so. Yeah. So can you imagine the anxiety getting up there? You fucking throw the skittle to your mate, you've caught it, gone, that's boss that, and then you've got to come back down while it's setting on fire as it's going through the atmosphere.
Yeah, there are better things I would do with the money, I think, personally. But
yeah, well,
whatever.
So you'd land in the middle of the ocean as well, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
don't
if you
have to
time
then
it right.
rescue you? No, but isn't that how they do it? Or is that not how Tesla?
I don't think they did. I think Tesla and Bezos and all them, I think they landed properly because right. Have you seen Elon Musk's, man? They're like dancing shit. They can land on the point that they took off from. That's mental.
SpaceX.
SpaceX.
Yeah, not Tesla.
Tesla SpaceX.
Yeah. I mean, I don't.
Can I just say though, like your reaction to seeing the Earth, I feel like was played down quite a bit there. It was like, oh, look, the Earth.
Well, fuck, man. I've watched National Geographic for Christ's sake. I've seen what the globe looks like from outer space.
Whoa. Globe?
Yeah.
It's flat. Isn't it? You said to me before.
Don't get me started.
You were like, you said, it's flat. We've got like this icy ring around the outside.
I wish it was like fucking Terry Pratchett. Like it's like a flat disc on top of a fucking turtle or whatever it was in Terry Pratchett. I wish it was, but it's not. It's globular, spherical, whatever you want to call it. I don't know.
I can't wait to see the comments.
Egg-shaped, technically, because it's not a perfect sphere, is it? But anyway.
Yeah, so late October, early November, the greatest podcast ever to be launched entered the world of Spotify and YouTube.
Was that movie Mouthfuls? Was that? Yeah, it was, and it was fun. I feel like I'm right back at the first episode.
Yeah, it does. It's bad, isn't it? We're a bit wobbly today.
But yeah, it was an extreme privilege to start doing that with you, bud.
I think I'm proud as well. The fact that we titled the first podcast "The Time Beard Shit His Pants."
Yeah. If I thought it was going to be a nail in a coffin, like it'd be over before it started, but now people seem to enjoy it.
Yeah, and we also got a new COVID variant. We got Omicron in November as well. That was pretty good.
Yeah, I'm looking for what's the next one going to be. Like, I don't know Latin that well. At some point we'll get to Zeta, right? Or
Megatron.
Yeah, there's a new bird flu, isn't there? I read like two days ago.
Oh,
it's a fucking super rare bird flu. So yeah. But yeah, was that the full year? Or was
Someone's
there
going
more?
to get... No, well, that was pretty much it. I mean, December, I made jokes about it at the Christmas special, but the Tory Christmas party scandal with that Angela Stratton joking about it, and then got done with the tapes.
That was like some shit from The Thick of It. You ever watched The Thick of It? It was like something from that. I couldn't even believe it was real. I thought it was like a parody when I first saw it, and I'm like, oh shit, this is real.
Yeah.
Yeah, also December... the time at which possibly the greatest song ever recorded about chicken wings was released as well.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about Santa's Takeaway. I've actually got Santa's Takeaway on here.
That was good as well.
No, you're right. We've got Rate My Takeaway's Christmas song and your Christmas song, which rounded the year off nicely, I think. I think it was a nice end to 2021. Fuck knows what's going to happen in 2022.
Oh, it can't be the worst, can it? I mean...
We said that last year, though.
I know, but I feel like it can't be.
I think it can be worse. I think looking back at that, to say on day 4 of... To be fair, we're recording this on the 7th, and so far, nothing catastrophic has happened, has it?
I feel like you need to touch wood here.
Is this real wood?
It's real wood.
No, in your
I feel
budget.
like we need to touch something.
I feel like all right, Mike.
We're going to start an OnlyFans. Is that how bad it's got?
Yeah, we were kind of harbingers of doom today. I feel like we should say, yeah, it was 2021 was not the greatest year on record, but we're here breathing. Everyone's all good. Well,
you made a bunch of YouTube videos, kept people entertained. We launched a podcast, made a Christmas video, did some other bits and bats. It were all right. I had a baby.
Oh yeah, you did, yeah. Which then jumped off headfirst from a bed, but we won't mention that.
Yeah, we're 2021 had its ups and downs.
I've got to say, I did some like last minute Christmas shopping, which is not the kind of thing I would do, right? Because any normal shopping I do online, right? But I went to this place in Leeds called the White Rose Centre, right? Which is like a shopping. I guess in America they would call it shopping mall. We would call it shopping centre. Anyway, I'm there and I'm just picking up something for my mum, I think. And I see Josh and I'm like, fuck me, man! I can't get rid of this guy. I see him everywhere. And he's there with his significant other and his child. And the first thing, I don't know what to say to kids. I feel like you should be like, oh, yeah, right. So I said, wow, your child has a ginormous head. It's a beautiful head, but it's very big. Naturally, Josh laughed. His girlfriend, I don't think, was particularly impressed. But
yeah, babies have got like...
No, but I mean, I know they have like a larger head than body than an adult, but even for a bit, it was an exceptionally large... I mean, you should have seen it, Mike. Have you seen it? It's massive. But that probably means
I'm in no shape to comment on someone's dome, to be honest.
That probably means she'd be really intelligent when she gets older.
I think it makes it look worse because her hair is pretty much see-through. Yeah. So maybe that's what it was.
Yeah, I can't talk to kids, Let alone,
I don't think
especially not infants.
But what's there's no point to speak to her anyway. She was like, she's 9 months old. Like, you're going to get back from her. Because I didn't even see you. And if I had done, I'd have avoided you. My missus were like, is that little hairy fella that you do your podcast with? And I'm like, oh, fuck, it is. And you even had your mask on and you still stand out from a crowd massively. It must be so annoying being in public as you.
Nah, not at all. I love meeting and greeting people. The people that watch my videos anyway. Other people I can take or leave them,
Right, so we're into the new year now, mate, and I wanted to know what your New Year's resolution entails.
I don't have them, man. I don't understand New Year's resolutions at all. If I resolve to do something, I'll think, oh, I want to do that, and I'll do it. I don't wait for January 1st to do it. But I suppose if I had to choose something for the sake of this contrived element of the podcast, I think my New Year's resolution this year is to travel a lot, get a lot of the stuff in terms of my videos. A lot of the stuff that people enjoy is when I just sod off somewhere, in North America usually, and film some stuff where nobody knows who I am. So typically the videos more entertaining. I have more fun doing them. Not that it's not good in England, but a lot of people like those little mini series. So I want to do as many of those as I can this year before I'm too old.
Make up for lost time as well from 2020.
Absolutely, yeah.
No, fair one. That's a good result. I like that.
I'm not really in control of it though.
Well, you're not. Yeah, I reckon you're going to get absolutely by. Can I say that?
Can't fucking say that. You
Can I say that? We'll have to bleep that out. George, bleep that out.
We'll cut that part.
No, we'll keep that in, but we'll have to bleep it out. Yeah, I reckon that's definitely out of your hands and it could all change. But I did do, I put it out to the audience actually on Instagram and I asked them what their New Year's resolution will be. So give me a second. Martin2704, I like this, it's quite funny. Number 1, stop making lists. B, be more consistent. Number 7, learn to count.
That's ripped from somewhere. I've seen that before. But yeah, that's a good one.
Some dude called Callum Kitchen, 206. Do food challenges, become the best. Beat me as Beard Meats Food in a contest.
That won't be hard, mate. We won't even take much training.
Chase Fry said no chocolate. I think back onto Callum Kitchen. I think he's coming after you, dude.
Has he? Fair cop, man. I mean, you take the crown. It's a crown of thorns.
Take the crown. So Chase Fry said no chocolate. How many people do you think started off the new year with like resolution of eating healthier, no sugar? I'm going to train 4 times a day. Come on.
Don't get me started. Too many. Like, I don't want to seem like, what's the word, needlessly negative and pessimistic, yeah. But it's especially, like, my family do it a lot, like my mum, my sister, Lynn's, they'll all be like, oh, new year, new me, I'm starting. And, like, I can guarantee you by that, I'll go around, like, in 2 weeks to my mum's house, she'll be eating a fucking chocolate cake or something, the whole cake to herself. And that's fine, man, do what you want with life. But, like, it's odd to me that it's such a... it's a common thing that in January people think, oh, I've got to start.
It's weird that that's like the reset button. I mean, it's a bit like, so Christmas and birthdays and like those occasions, like for me as I've got older, they're not that, like it's just another day in it.
Yeah.
So when obviously January 1st rolled around, I'm like, it's another day. Like I'll go to the gym, I'll train or I'll do.
Good one.
Mate, you only look muscular because you're so short. You're so little that everything's just sort of like condensed into this little ball of...
I'm just going to get all my mileage now from that. Did you see that from the music video where I had no sleeves on when I was doing the drummer? And I was a bit flexed. I was playing a fill and I got a screenshot from that. Like, that's it.
Yeah, you put it on your Instagram.
People think I'm still in shape.
Yeah, Sammy Webs said no takeaway. Did you see
why?
I was going to say, did you see what the Get Baked guy put on Instagram or on Facebook?
No.
He basically wrote like a full essay, basically been a dick to everyone as he normally is, saying, don't pretend like you're going to stick to your New Year's resolution. Just get some fucking cake. Shut the fuck up. Get some cake, shut the fuck up.
Good message.
I think it's good. It's some good marketing. We're talking about
why no take? I don't understand that. Just because takeaway is naturally usually unhealthy?
Yeah, I mean... No, let's not get you started on calories in versus calories out.
For me, it's not. I commend people that think because we shift from 1 year in the Gregorian calendar to a new year. That means you got to do something new. But if you fine, but like what I hate about it is that it's people go. I think they go too hard, too fast. We don't want. I'm not going to get into the whole diet thing, right? But
anything, the advice could be going into anything, couldn't it? But too hard, too fast.
Man, the amount of people I've seen already just like doing HIIT and stuff, like out on fields and HIIT training and like sweating themselves to death. Like, just calm down a bit.
Yeah. Mulder89 said, watch more Beard Meats Food on YouTube and not shit myself.
2 very good resolutions.
That little hairy bloke that I sit up across from suplex you through the podcast table at least once this year. I say go for it, man.
Look, I'll trash the lighting setup and everything. This is quite a solid table, actually. I was giving you grief for the budget earlier on, but I don't think this would smash.
You know where this is from? That episode hasn't come out yet. Never mind. Fucking terrible. It's Delaney01. None, because I never keep them. At least they're honest.
He's definitely honest there. He knows himself.
Yeah, and finally, behold the Can you read that? The bottom left.
Bottom left or bottom right? Right. Behold the courtism. To get into art school. That's the best one on the list.
Yeah.
I must say it. I said it like a rapper then. I don't know why. I must say it. Getting into art school, that's a good, I mean, I'm sure you will, man. Let us know you do as well.
I got into art school. It didn't last long. I stayed there for a bit and then joined Navy instead.
Art school to the Navy, that's a bit of a weird career trajectory. But
I bounced straight back out of Navy into a form of art anyway, aren't I? So here we are.
Indeed.
This is where it could take you. That was the list of what I had to look back on 2020 and the resolutions. Any final comments from the hairy man?
I mean, aside from various levels of global catastrophe, I think personally it was all right. I enjoyed, for the most part, 2021. I think a lot of my videos got better, which makes me happy. Like, as somebody that creates stuff.
Yeah, you seem to have some significant growth on the channel. Everyone seems to be enjoying your stuff. Entertaining dude.
Not everyone.
Launched a couple of podcasts.
Started this, man. It was by and large, I would say, compared to some years, it was all right. 2021.
I'm excited for 2022. I'm excited for this podcast, although this one's pretty shit. if we're going to speak pretty objectively, I'm excited for what we can do. We've got some guests lined up. We've got some stuff in the pipeline.
Yeah, order 66 some people that you wanna see on the podcast and make them come on, because we don't have a multi-channel network or anything, so it's kind of, and we don't have any money, so it's hard to get guests, right? So yeah, if you want to see anyone come on, just force them, really, if you can. Not at gunpoint or anything, but just tweet them a lot. That's what we'll do. We'll send out some emails. We'll get some guests, because we clearly cannot do a podcast together. Any final words from yourself, Mr. Beard? No, don't do drugs. That's usually a good way to end it. Mikey? Yeah, of course. Don't do drugs. Right, that's the message going into 2022 then. Do not do drugs unless you need it for medical purposes. Thanks for listening and watching. We'll catch you on the next one.